Alright guys, are you looking for a new game to play? Are you tired of playing the same old game that you passed already 50 times and you need something new? You've had enough. Well, I've got the game for you. What's up? This is Epic Danny. I hope you're doing great. So I would say let's just jump right into it. Let's go. Alright guys, The Forest was developed and published by Endnight Games. I believe this is the first game that they have actually made. It was initially released for Microsoft Windows as early access on May 2014 and later officially released for Microsoft Windows and PlayStation 4 on April of 2018. The Forest gives you the option to play alone, create a lobby to play with friends, or to host or join a public lobby to play with random people. Graphics are extremely good in this game and they have slowly gotten better throughout the years with several updates. It is very enjoyable to just explore the peninsula as the graphics of the forests, lakes, rivers, waterfalls, beaches, and many more places are just beautiful to see. The sounds of this game, guys, are amazing, especially if you have a good headset or surround sound. From waterfalls, rain, wind hitting the trees, animals, and many more things, you can really get submerged in the game by listening to everything. Regarding the gameplay, you will quickly realize you have complete freedom to do whatever you please in the forest. But at the same time, you have to stay focused as you also need to take care of yourself and of the objectives to complete the actual game. Alright, so the game starts with you and your son Timmy traveling in an airplane. Everything quickly takes a turn for the worse when the airplane falls and crashes into a heavily forested peninsula in the middle of nowhere. You are actually knocked unconscious from the crash, but when you're able to open your eyes, you see what seems to be a cannibal taking your son Timmy away from you, and then again, you pass out. Later on, you wake back up and find yourself in half an airplane with nobody around you, at least nobody alive. There is an actual flight attendant right next to you. She has been killed, by the way. From here, you already know what your two main objectives are: survive and find your son Timmy. Soon thereafter, as you're exploring the surroundings, you will quickly realize you're playing a survival horror game, as you will find out you are not really alone on these lands. There are cannibals, and lots of them. From this point forward, you will not stop thinking about them and they will keep your nerves on point as they are extremely unpredictable. As a matter of fact, I think this is one of the best AI enemies I have ever seen in a video game, as you have no idea what's about to happen. So they're going to just stare at you from a couple feet away, they will get close to you or run by your side, or even hit you once and see how you react. They will push your limits until they can figure out who you are and what they're dealing with. At the end of the day, this is their island and you're a trespasser. They even have campgrounds all over the place. If there are 2 or 3 cannibals and you kill one of them, the others can have second thoughts and actually run away. But be sure that they will come back eventually with a bigger group to take care of you. So they're not fun. So try to make sure you don't leave any untaken care of business that can bite you in the ass later on, okay?
Okay.
You will start meeting different stronger cannibals and even creatures or monsters that will make sure to keep you busy and with your heart pumping as quick as it can. So once you get your feet wet with the game, you know you need 3 things to survive. You need to take care of hunger, thirst, and safety. When it comes to hunger, you have several options. You can hunt several different animals like rabbits, iguanas, turtles, deer, and a lot more. You can also eat energy bars that you will find in campgrounds or luggage around the island. You can also eat certain seeds from plants or even plant your own garden to stay fed. Regarding thirst, you have a couple options. You can find sodas in the cannibal campgrounds or in some shipping boxes all over the island. You can boil some water once you find a pot. And finally, you can use one of the turtle shells to make a water collector. So when it rains, you have water to stay hydrated. It's a great idea. That's the best one for me. You can also drink water straight from the pond or a lake, or drink booze, but I don't recommend these things because the water can hurt you and the booze can actually be used for another useful things. And finally, safety. You're equipped with a set of skills that can be used to build yourself a base and a home. Your imagination is pretty much the limit here. You can build a temporary shelter, or you can build a crazy log cabin, or you can even end up with a castle. You can build walls, platforms, gazebos, tree houses, traps, etc. Like, you can just go crazy. To be able to build a base or a home, you will need to have resources. You will need to gather things like logs, sticks, rocks, bones, animal skins, cloth, ropes, and a lot more. There is a fourth thing you will eventually want to do, and that is gather weapons and some equipment. This is a good time to introduce you to the beautiful caves. These are extremely dark caves that will need to be explored to get weapons such as axes, chainsaw, katana, climbing gear, scuba gear, bow and arrows, and one of the most important things, a map and a compass. And by the way, guys, the game is extremely dark in the caves, and at night you do have the option to actually tweak the brightness and the contrast a little bit. That helps a lot. In the caves you will find some monsters that are tougher to beat, but it is super rewarding when you beat them and you actually get to the loot they're protecting close by. These monsters eventually surface to the island as you progress in the game. Alright guys, the most important object you need to get is also located in these caves, and it is a key card which will finally grant you access to the end of the game. Alright guys, so I have been talking about the basics of the game, how it works, how it pretty much unfolds, and how you can get around. So from now on, I'm gonna be talking actually about the end of the game. Massive spoilers. If you don't want spoilers, please jump to this section of the video. If you do want to see spoilers or hear spoilers, here we go. Alright guys, so there is a massive hole or a canyon, however you want to call it, in the middle of the peninsula.
That's what she said.
Now once you get to the bottom of it and go all the way through, you will find a door where you can use the Sahara keycard you had found before. Once you go in, you will find yourself in a huge laboratory where some scientists were experimenting and creating some mutations, which resulted pretty much in the monsters we have been seeing throughout the game. Once you advance through the laboratory, you will find your son Timmy inside an artifact, but unfortunately, he's no longer alive. It's a sad day. It is here where you put all the pieces together and find out that the scientist from the laboratory was actually the same person that took Timmy from you in the beginning of the game, and he's actually sacrificing him to bring his daughter, Megan, back to life. Once you figure out what the actual artifact does, you go in search of a sacrifice to bring back your son Timmy. Eventually you find Megan in the laboratory, but she's not really herself anymore. She starts twitching and moving just really weird until she turns into a crazy monster that actually becomes your boss fight. Once you fight with it or with her and kill her, you need to take Megan to the artifact and sacrifice her to bring Timmy back. The artifact rejects the sample you have placed in it and lets you know it has to be a live sample. Once Megan falls to the ground, a golden Sahara keycard falls out. You take it and advance further through the laboratory to find another artifact. From here, you are presented with two different options to actually complete the game. So the first completion of the game, pretty much, you decide to press the button that will bring down an airplane that has 3 matches for the sacrifice to bring Timmy back. So the artifact sends out a massive wave and effectively brings the airplane down, And now we know how and why we were taken down from the airplane in the beginning of the game. Alright, so in here we pretty much get taken to a different scene. 1 year goes by and you're at a TV show with your son Timmy alive, but he's kind of weird, like he's twitching and moving like he's not completely himself anymore.
Please, give it up for Eric LeBlanc. Here we go.
The host asks you to show him how you used to cut the trees. And when you're cutting the trees together with him, Timmy starts convulsing just like Megan was before transforming into a monster. But thankfully, this time Timmy didn't actually turn into anything. From there, you get taken to another scene where Timmy has grown up and has plans to go to a second site to explore. Hint hint, the Forest 2. We see he still has the same weird effect of the artifact that brought him back to life. Alright guys, so that's pretty much it for the first ending. That's, I guess, the main end of the game. But yeah, there is another one, another completion of the game, which is not really a completion, but you'll see what I mean about that. So let's go. So for this completion, you decide to press the button that will stop the artifact and end the cycle of sacrificing and sacrificing to bring someone else back to life, and just a never-ending cycle pretty much. Once you do this, an elevator nearby opens and you go back down to a new cave. This cave takes you to a locked door that can only be opened with a special key, and this key is actually located in the boat close to the beach. Once you go to the boat and open the door with the Golden Sahara key card, you access a room where the special key is located. So pretty much from there you head back to the cave and open the door to find the final artifact, which is a sphere that controls all the cannibals. So you pretty much have control of the world in your hands. So the cool thing about this sphere is that you can actually have 3 options. One of them is just leave it turned off, which is gonna make no change. They're gonna still behave the same way they have been behaving from the beginning. You can have the blue option, which is actually peaceful. They're gonna run away from the sphere, so you want to have the sphere close to you, and they just pretty much run away from it. Or you can have it red, which is actually gonna trigger them full of rage. So you're gonna have like 20 of them come at you right away, and that's pretty much for you to kind of challenge yourself, I guess. So yeah. With this ending, you don't really get an end to the game, but instead you have freedom to continue playing a never-ending story. Alright guys, so there you have it, The Forest, amazing game, and if I had to give it a score, I would probably say 8 or 8.5 out of 10. I really like it. There is just minor things like glitches and stuff like that, like once I just went flying with a log sled. Megan, also there is a little piece in the video that you watch with Megan that she screams, but she doesn't look like she's screaming, so I don't know. But that doesn't break the game for me. I really enjoy it. I love it. And yeah, guys, I've played it on my own. I've played it with a couple friends. I've played it with random people. I've played the game with my wife, and she's not a gamer. So quick tip, guys, if your significant other is not really a gamer, this is a great game to introduce her to gaming. She even tells me sometimes, or she asks me, hey, do you want to play? And I'm like, you don't have to threaten me with a good time. Alright guys, boom, there you have it. So that was the explanation or breakdown and review of The Forest. I hope you enjoyed it. This is the first time I'm doing this kind of video, so let me know please if you do enjoy it, and I'll keep making reviews or explanations and breakdowns of video games just like this. Or if you want me to do a gameplay or a walkthrough of this whole game, I don't mind doing it, just let me know. So please guys, murder that comment box below. Let me know, comment something. If you have something to add that maybe I missed, please also share your experience, share your knowledge. That helps everybody, it helps me. So yeah guys, if you like the video, please don't forget to smash that like button. If you haven't yet, consider subscribing. That helps me a lot and it helps you know when I upload videos. And that's pretty much it for me guys. This is Epic Danny again, and I will see you in the next video. Goodbye.